Let me bring on Knut.
All right.
Hi,
Hi.
Knut.
How's
Hi.
it going?
Good.
Yeah, it's nice to be here. It's super
Yeah.
fun. Right.
Um,
How do we even follow this? Like these
I
two
know. I
amazing
don't know.
talks.
Should we just end now? No, I'm just kidding.
I guess we are going to continue the topic of commerce and e-commerce and
hmm
Shopify and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you introduce yourself fully? Did you say what you do?
Probably not. So yeah, I'm Knut. I run developer relations at Sanity,
Right
and I
on.
have a great privilege of working with some great people every day.
Yeah. So without further ado, Knut and Kap to the
Right.
stage.
Yeah. So speaking of working with great people, I will now kind of present the work that a pretty amazing team has done in not that long of time. And just as kind of like Julian showed, like we have seen people building kind of like bespoke e-commerce experiences and storefronts for a good while, maybe from kind of like the ever since we launched Sanity. And it seems like Shopify has seen that too and started to kind of like offer some nice tools and things for developers who want to kind of like make more of a custom experience. So many of you have probably heard about Hydrogen by now, kind of like Shopify's new front end framework. It's in React. It's kind of like similar to Next.js in some ways. Um, and yeah, we have collaborated with Shopify on making some new tools and apps and stuff, and we want to talk about that for a bit and show you how it actually works. So yeah, like as I said, like we have seen studios like this. I guess it's pretty similar to what Julian just showed you all. And it seems to us that structured content and kind of like product information and all of that stuff is super compatible. And when you kind of like merge it makes for kind of great things. Um, and then we have like all these delicious, delightful front ends that people are building. This is kind of like the first maybe that marks like appeared on our map. This is Kevin Green's Prima, a legendary e-commerce site. Um, and then we also see that like you can kind of make a bespoke editing interface for exactly your like shop or kind of like your organization. And it's so cool to see these kind of like different studios that kind of like does exactly what they need to do. Um, so we thought about like how can we make all of that easier? How can we make all of that more approachable for people? So what we kind of like released on Monday was kind of like a Sanity Connect for Shopify app store, which makes it like as developers we tend to do kind of avoid words like easy and simple because
hmm
often it's not. This is probably pretty easy and simple to set up. Hopefully we will show that to you soon. But it takes all of your kind of like Shopify products and syncs them down to the content lake so you can kind of like interact with it and reference it and kind of augment and merge it into your content. Um, so yeah, it's on the Shopify App Store. Do try it out. It comes with a nice plan. Yeah, if you like it, please leave a review. Like that's like that all the podcasts. Like if you like it, please leave a review and mark it with
Please
stars.
like and subscribe.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and then we also made a Sanity studio for Shopify called like a reference studio. It's kind of opinionated. It has kind of like a couple of like customizations and stuff, but we also tried to kind of like not do too much so that you can take it and make it your own. And if you are into kind of like customizations of the studio, it has a lot of different things that you can kind of like build on. So like custom document actions, desk structure, and so on. And we also made kind of like a Shopify widget that shows you the sync status and so on. So that's pretty useful when you have the setup. Fun fact. Do you want a fun fact, Kat?
Yeah, I want a fun fact.
So when you kind of like load this Shopify example that we have in the studio and so on, you get all of this furniture, right? That furniture doesn't exist. We made it up. We commissioned kind of like 3D renders of furniture just to have something consistent that we can show variations and so on. So we're pretty proud of that. Like
It's pretty furniture.
Yeah, it's pretty furniture. Maybe one day it will actually exist. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we needed a pretty furniture because we also made kind of like a demo app using Hydrogen. It's kind of like Hydrogen it's still a development. It hasn't been released as kind of like a production ready thing yet, but we got in early, and we have also made kind of like stuff for Hydrogen that makes it hopefully easier to use Sanity and Shopify together. And then you can, with Hydrogen, you can make kind of like experiences like this, pretty similar to some of the things that Julian just showed you. But like the power of combining actual product data and portable text and so on is pretty amazing. Look like you want to say something, Kat.
No, I was going to comment on because there's all these like variants you can have with different products, and when it comes to e-commerce, there's a lot of different colors and sizes and like things that come with it. And so to be able to like see this in action with Hydrogen and to like know that Shopify and Sanity can handle all that is very comforting almost.
Absolutely. Yeah, and like speaking of Hydrogen, we have shipped something called Use Sanity Query. It comes as an NPM package that you can import into your Hydrogen app. It makes some assumptions about IDs and so on in your content lake. Those assumptions are kind of catered for if you use the sync app, but it does some pretty nifty things. Let's see. I love charts, right? Technical flow charts. So Use Sanity Query kind of like makes it possible for you to fetch kind of like product content from your content lake, and it will resolve that with the latest live product data from Shopify and make that more seamless in your queries. So you can kind of make sure that, yeah, you have embedded products in your content, but the product information, it's always up to date. So if something goes out of stock, it will be reflected in the front end, and that's kind of important for a commerce operation, right? So this is all about kind of like making some great developer experience in order to make some great customer experience. It's all tied together.
Before we move on, there's a question about Hydrogen. Ryan says, are there any features that require the use of Hydrogen?
Are there any features that require the use of Hydrogen? I'm not sure if I fully understood it. If Ryan maybe could, or
I think the question is like, do you have to use Hydrogen?
Oh yeah, no, you don't have to use Hydrogen. So of course this is structured content. You can use it anywhere. If you want to take it into Next, sure, Gatsby, of course, Eleventy, what have you. It doesn't even need to be a front end, right? It can be, if you want to make a bespoke voice assistant e-commerce experience, then you can probably do that as well, maybe. Yeah.
Show us if you do.
Yeah, please. Maybe it can be great. But yeah, the animations are way too fast. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. You can try it live though.
Yeah, I'm about to demo it live.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess not the Hydrogen part, but the other part.
Yeah, I think that was all of my slides at least. So we can move into the demo.
Perfect. Let me get the link to the video. So if you do want to see if you do want to see more, like all that in action again, I did make a demo video that I'm going to put into the chat. It's me kind of walking through all of the setup and then also the hydrogen part. So if you want to see that all again and go at your own pace, you can definitely do that. Now let me do a quick demo of setting it up. And let me log out of my Shopify. All right, so I'm at shopify.com. I'm going to zoom in so you all can see a little bit better. And straight away, I'll just log in. And it's going to authorize me. And I've created a couple demos. You'll see a couple demo stores in my Shopify. But let's create another one. And we'll call this one November Meetup Demo. November Meetup Demo. Create store. So this is as if you were starting 100% from scratch with the Shopify and the Sanity Connect app. So now it's ready to go, and it's going to ask some questions. And we're going to skip, and then there's a question about my address. So I'm going to take my thing off screen real quick. Okay, enter. And it's almost, okay. So now I have it all set up. And the questions that it asked me, it was just like, do you want to, I should have read them off, but I just skipped them. So you can just skip them if you want. You can also answer them if you want. But now I'm at my dashboard for my new November Meetup Demo store. Now, right away, I'm going to go into apps on the left-hand side. And then customize your store up here. And it's going to take me to a new tab that will have a place to search for all the Shopify apps that you can add. I'm just going to type in Sanity.
I'm a bit disappointed you didn't resolve the tax liability issue first.
Sorry. So yeah, add that one in, add the app, and it will take me back. Perfect. So now I'm back on my dashboard, and you're about to install this app. Do you want to do it? Yeah, let's install that app. So install. And we're almost there. And then connect with Sanity. And there's always the sanity.io URL that you can find more details on Sanity while you're doing this process. Here's where you would authorize Sanity. I've already authorized it, so I'm just gonna, it might look different if it's your first time, but because I've done it before, I'm gonna authorize it again like this. And here we go. So it is now connected to my Sanity account. And here's my video. Oh, I haven't seen it yet on this dashboard. There's my video. And then you can choose either create new project or choose an existing. I'm going to create new. So I'm going to hit this green button.
I just want to say that it's probably good to create a new project, because that comes with we have left additional API requests in and so on, because it's syncing. So yeah, I would recommend creating that new project.
Good to know.
Yeah.
And then so in the background, it made me a Sanity project with a Sanity project ID and then my production data set. So all that is set up. I just had to click a couple of buttons and now we're going to go see it. But I'm going to keep direct sync and sync product data automatically on. I'm just going to leave those how they are and then start synchronizing now.
And if I can interject, so there's an option for custom sync that's gonna grayed out because it's not available. We're working on it. We need to figure out make some API decisions, but that will allow you to enter in a serverless, like a URL to an endpoint. It can be a serverless function. It can even be a server. and then all the product information will be kind of like sent to that, so you can kind of like tailor your own things if you need something more custom. So that's what that is for. Yeah.
So because I have auto synchronizing on, this will auto synchronize, and we'll see how that looks in a little bit. But there is also like a manual synchronize now button that you'll always get, even if you have the auto sync on. So that's there, but it's already successfully synced all products up to now. We don't have any. So, but let's get this command. So this command will be created for us, and this will install the Sanity CLI, Shopify stuff, all that. But also our project ID and our data set are in this command for us. So let me get my terminal. And I'm just going to paste that command in. And okay to proceed? Yes. Because it's just telling you that you're installing those. And if you didn't have a Sanity account, so it says, looks like you already have a Sanity account, sweet, it's just going to continue on. If I didn't have one, then you would have to log in. And it's going to do all the things. And then soon I will be able to open up my my studio code in my VS Code. And it took the name, so the Shopify November Meetup demo, and that's the path that I wanted. So everything is correct, and it's doing all the stuff for us. Almost. When you're doing
I wonder how many hours. Yeah, I wonder how many hours we have waited for npm to solve those dependencies.
So then I can just cd into Shopify November Meetup demo, and then I can open it up. And it opened on my other screen. So here it is. And just a couple things to point out here is, I think I'm zoomed in enough, is the sanity.json. That has that project ID and that data set that was set up when we did the Shopify stuff. And then here is just like a bunch of things, like a studio is already created. So you can go into schemas, you can see all the stuff that you already get, and you can build on top of this. You can edit, you can delete, you can update, whatever you need to do. It's all now locally yours. And so this is where you build upon. And there's not much in here I want to show. I just really wanted to point out that the project ID and all that set up, and then the schemas to build on top of. So as you go, you would just create more schemas, or maybe you don't want this name to bullet, you can name it something else, or numbered, you can name that something else, but all that kind of stuff. I mean, you wouldn't really change those, but
yeah. I can also say that we have made an effort to kind of document all of these things in the README. So if you're curious about kind of what features can I find in the studio, you can also go to the README and read all about it. And it's a lot of things.
There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So let me get this running locally. So I'm opening up my terminal in VS Code. And that, if you don't know, is Control tilde to do that. And then I'm going to run the command sanity start. And it will be running locally on localhost 3333 once it's done. So I'm just going to pull this to the side so I can show here. So localhost 3333, here is my, let me pull this off just in case. Perfect. And here is my studio. So there are a couple widgets that you can see right here. So on the left, thanks for installing the Sanity Connect for Shopify. Just a little bit of information, and I see my video again. It's exciting to see it. But there's just some documentation, reference docs, community support, but this widget is helpful. Now this Shopify Connect widget on the right-hand side, if you look at the recently updated products, we don't have any products yet, so that's not going to have anything in it. But let's go add a product, and let's see. I'm going to actually pull this out. Is there a quick way to make my window go half screen? I know there's a keyboard shortcut, but I always pull it in like this.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think there are apps that lets you kind of like do it.
I see. I'm actually gonna pull this back out and go to products. So I'm gonna click on products, and we're gonna do add a product. And now I'm gonna collapse that back up. So title, the first image that we upload, and the URL are going to be read only in the studio. So they're they're unique to Shopify. Shopify definitely needs to have this kind of content saved on their side. So that is going to be read only, and you'll see that. And let me scroll down to the widget so we can see that update. So we'll do Sanity t-shirt. We'll skip description. We'll add a file.
Where can you find a t-shirt image, Kap?
Well, I have one saved already.
Yeah.
But you could go to the store.sanity.io and you can find our t-shirts that you can get. So there's the media, and that's going to be used as the thumbnail in the studio, and you'll see that. And then now the URL has been updated. So when I entered in that title, this URL was automatically updated. So I'm going to hit save, and we're going to see sweet. We added our first product. And right away, we see the sync. So Sanity t-shirt 7 seconds ago was created. But it is not fully live yet. So I'm going to go to my desk within my studio and click on products. And right away, we see Sanity t-shirt, but unavailable in Shopify. So we've added it, but we haven't made it live. So we need to go back to our Shopify and scroll down to product status, and we want to change draft to active. So now that it's active, we can hit save, and that will change, and it will not say unavailable in Shopify. It will have a 0 price tag on it. So if I click on that, click on details, we have, like I said earlier, the read only for title, the slug, and then that thumbnail should be popping up soon. But those are read only. So if we wanted to change that, I can come back here. I can do t-shirts, save.
Multi-pack.
And that will be updated to t-shirts. And then if you want to update the slug, you have to go back to that spot that I was in the search engine listing preview. And where did it? Oh, right here. And change that to the t-shirts. And so changing the URL is kind of a little more, you need to be a little more careful with that if you have
Danger zone, right?
Yeah. So that's why you want to change both if you do. And then if you wanted to, this is also good to know, if you wanted to delete a product, you have to delete it in both spots. So it's kind of like in GitHub, or places where you really don't want to just like delete stuff accidentally. It's kind of like a fail safe. So if you delete it in Shopify, it will remain in Sanity or in your studio. So if I come down to, I think it's down here. Yeah, delete product. Delete product. And now we have no more products. But if I go back here, product is hidden, has been deleted. And if I click on the product, it says it's deleted from Shopify. So it'll hang out like this in this state until forever, until you do something with it. If you really want it deleted forever and ever, you have to come down to this little arrow down here and click on delete in your studio. So it's just kind of like are you sure you want to delete it?
Yeah.
But yeah.
And that's kind of like that delete functionality. That is actually a custom action that also takes care of variants if you have variants. So it will kind of wipe all of them out. So you don't have to go in and delete variant by variant if you delete a product. So that's kind of like a nice customization thing that you can also look at.
Yeah. So let me see if, it looks like you answered a question that Ryan had. Are there any other questions?
There's a lot of talk about window management.
Sorry.
But I think I still think it's cool to see things just live update and so on. It's so nice. Not really having to push refresh to see what changes. So yeah, I'm still a sucker for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hope this is intriguing. There's a bunch of stuff to check out. I guess we could drop a link to the blog post is a good place to start. Maybe it has links to all the things. And yeah, I'm just so amazed by the work the product team and the applications team has done on this, on both the back end and the front ends and the studio and everything. I'm just super stoked about it.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, if anyone has any other questions, we are always in the Sanity Slack community hanging out. You can find us there. I'm under Kap there, and then you can find Knut as Knut.
Did we say something about an upcoming event?
I did earlier, but I can say it again.
Yeah.
So
let's say it again.
I will say it again. So we have no meetup next month, but we do have an open house. So the open house, our CEO Magnus will be speaking, head of content strategy Carrie will be speaking, and many more. So it's going to be an awesome event. We will be sending out links in the community on Twitter, so you won't miss it. But December 8th, mark your calendars. And yeah.
We actually have a question in the chat. So can you quickly touch on how the sync was created with Sanity webhooks, or is it just posting into Sanity? So we have a dedicated service that hooks up to your Shopify store, and I think it uses Shopify's webhooks internally. I'm not actually 100% sure there. And then it takes care of the syncing into the content lake. So it does post, as you say, into your content lake, but yeah, Sanity webhooks is actually not part of that equation. But you can use them for product info updates as well. Hopefully that answered your question. But it's kind of like it's a service that we host and will further develop and make better. There has already been some feature requests about collections and so on. So maybe we will get to that. Keep the feedback coming. It's super helpful. And and if people use this to actually make something, what should they do with that, Kap?
Well, there's two places you can put this. There's the hashtag I made this channel in the Slack community, or you can put it on the Sanity Exchange. And let me get that link. So the exchange is where you can also find other projects and stuff to kind of get inspiration from. But there's plugins and tools and guides and snippets and projects and profiles. So there's a lot in there. So if you make a project, definitely share it there. It will automatically be shared to the hashtag I made this channel. So you're kind of getting both. But
and if you share a lot of things on Exchange, what happens then?
I'm just
asking rhetorical questions. I'm sorry.
We have a community appreciation program, and you get swag if you hit certain tiers. Let me also get that.
One day I'll get swag. One day I will.
I feel like you've already hit all the tiers in our appreciation program.
I'm cheating though.
But yeah, I am putting in a link, and that will give you all the information on the community appreciation program, and you get stickers or t-shirt or a hoodie. So good stuff.
Awesome. Right.
So yeah, thank you so much for everyone. And if you have further questions, we will be in the community studio or in the Slack community hanging out. And thanks so much for watching. And we will see you all next month, December 8th at our open house. Thank you, everyone.
See ya.